May God protect our troops, our diplomats, and all brave Americans serving in harm's way.
Biden sprinted away from that press conference like he was trying to catch a plane out of Kabul. And like Kabul, the Biden presidency is imploding. In this video, we're going to take a look at the political fallout from the fall of Afghanistan, how Biden's polls are collapsing as we speak, and we're even going to see the latest predictions regarding the upcoming midterms. Let's just say things keep getting worse for Bumblin Biden. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, as each and every day I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and tumultuous times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe. But before we dive into things here, we've got an amazing deal for you from our good friends over at Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield is the leader in VPNs, or virtual private networks, on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device, which protects you while browsing the internet. And for just this month, the month of August, they're offering 50% off their subscription plan for life, gang. You get half off for the life of your subscription if you sign up in August. It doesn't get better than that. So make August the month you take the plunge and begin protecting yourself online. Click on that link in the description below and sign up for a risk-free 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. So the fallout from the fall of Kabul to the Taliban continues, and it appears that the worst casualty in all this may indeed be Bumblin Biden. His presidency is utterly imploding. Let's look at some of the polls, and then let's look at what even the leftist activists disguised as journalists in the mainstream media are saying, because even they are stunned at just how colossal Biden's fall has been in all of this. In terms of the polls, we got some bad news and we got some really bad news, okay? So as far as the bad news, Rasmussen currently has Biden polling at his lowest point ever, 46%. As for the really bad news, this is before Kabul fell. You heard that right. This is over his botched handling of COVID. The utter incompetence of his administration giving us any semblance of coherence with regard to COVID. So you can imagine that over the next few days, that approval rating is going to implode even more. The latest Trafalgar poll shows that 70% of likely voters, 69.3%, overwhelmingly disapprove of Biden's handling of the pullout in Afghanistan, which immediately makes you wonder, what on earth are those other 30% thinking? Do they actually support the way Biden bumbled the pullout? And to make matters even worse, again, according to Rasmussen, Biden's imploding approval ratings correspond loosely with the 60% of voters who believe that the nation is heading down the wrong track. The BBC put it best: we are seeing nothing less than a massive backlash against Biden. The fall of Kabul, as it turns out, is indicative of the fall of Demented Joe. And in case you think this is just a case of right-wing wishful thinking, even the far-left CNN is seeing this. Look at this headline: crisis of competence facing Joe Biden. And this leftist activist disguised as journalist actually points to both Afghanistan and our southern border as indicative of a total and complete loss of control by the Biden administration. There's no sense whatsoever that Bumblin Biden has a clue on how to handle or prevent potential crises around the world. And all he does in terms of a response is to backtrack and offer lame excuses. Gang, this is CNN talking. CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is talking this way. 7 months into his presidency, or of course, Biden would say it's 15 months into his presidency, and he is facing an utter and total collapse of competency. And this is what makes the media so odious. He's always had a crisis of competence, okay? He's always suffered from a crisis of competence. Even the Bernie crowd has made this argument. They've questioned his cognitive fitness, okay? This is what makes the media so absurd. They just live in their own little bubble.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
And now, speaking of, ever since Bumblin Biden gave us that ridiculous speech yesterday, the mainstream Marxist media has been doing everything they possibly can to gaslight this. They've picked up Biden's ridiculous red herring argument that this was all about the inevitable consequences of withdrawal. We had to leave. There was nothing that we could do, yada, yada, yada. Or my personal favorite, you may have seen this on CNN.
They're just chanting death to America, but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre. At the president.
Yeah, they hate us. They want us dead. But they seem so friendly. What kind of mother would she be? Can I pet the shark, Mommy? He's got such sharp teeth, but he seems so cuddly. Only in the crazed, demented world of CNN would such imbecility like this make sense. But thus far, as the polls are starting to show, all the media gaslighting in the world isn't working. And periodically, their guests have gone off script. Check this out from the ultra-left MSNBC.
I'm curious to hear your reaction of this consequential speech by the American president. Didn't run from it. He owned it. He owned his decision. He owned the fact that, as he put it, the buck stops with him.
I hope he gets to own their deaths, too. I feel like I watched a different speech than the rest of you guys. I was appalled. There was such a profound, bold-faced lie in that speech. The idea that we planned for every contingency. I have been personally trying to tell this administration since it took office. I've been trying to tell our government for years that this was coming. We sent them plan after plan on how to evacuate these people. Nobody listened to us. They didn't plan for the evacuation of our Afghan wartime allies. They're trying to conduct it now at the 11th hour. The thing that they were most concerned about was the optics of a chaotic evacuation. Well, they got exactly what they were most concerned of by failing to do what was right when we could have done it. We had all the people and equipment in place to be able to save these people months ago, and we did nothing. I'm appalled that he thinks we only need to take 2,000 people. There's 86,000 people who are currently left behind in Afghanistan alone. We've identified all of them for the government. I have no idea why he claims that people don't want to leave Afghanistan. I have a list of 14,000 names right now of people who want to get out of Afghanistan. And the idea that the Afghan military should be blamed for this, do you know how many casualties the Afghan military took in an average year? More than the United States did in 20. When you're not getting paid on a regular basis, when you're not getting fuel, when no one is supplying you with ammunition, and yet you're still showing up to the fight, how dare us for having to blame these people for not having the audacity to be able to survive a Taliban onslaught? No. What we need to be doing right now, and what I am appalled that the president didn't say, was we need to be talking about how we're going to get every single one of these people out.
This consequential speech by the American president. He didn't run from it. He owned it. It was the finest feast in the very fallacies that we serve on a daily basis here in MSNBC. Now you, sir, are calling us out on it. Please stop. So, obviously, it's not just Biden that has a competence crisis. It's the mainstream media. It's the permanent political class. Our globalist elite, our political and economic oligarchs, they're all suffering from a massive and very well-deserved crisis in competence. Stephen Miller put it very, very well. Quote, the reason you're seeing such rampant remorse with regard to Joe Biden is because a lot of people built up an image of Joe Biden in their own head to justify their vote that was never Joe Biden. If you ever paid attention for ever. The reason why so many people are defecting away from the Biden camp, the reason why so many people are so quick to abandon him in all of this, is that they're suddenly realizing that the image that they had of this guy, an image that the fawning activists in the mainstream media helped to create, that image was never the actual Joe Biden. The image of a competent, kindly grandfather who's restoring peace and normalcy after 4 years of an evil orange ogre in the White House, that's shattering. It was never true. Biden is a power-hungry, demented, blithering disaster who's being used as a tool by the far-left radicals. And now even the White House is beginning to unravel. Jack Posobiec is pointing out that the White House staff has descended into its own infighting. Biden's chief of staff reportedly wanted Biden back in the White House immediately after Kabul fell, but Jill Biden reportedly blocked his request and said that Sleepy Joe could command the same respect no matter where he was, even inches away from his bed. And you're not going to believe what Kamala reportedly said. This is going to make your day. But first, make sure to click on that link below and register for our brand new Conservative Patriot Live virtual event on September 3rd and 4th, where I and several special guests will teach you to help build a society completely free from all things woke and to experience once again the nation that we all know and love. Make sure to click on that link below right now to get your tickets, because as an extra benefit, you're going to be registered in our Insiders Club, where you can interact directly with special guests like Professor Carol Swain, who was with us last night to answer questions on critical race theory. So don't wait. Click on that link below right now and register for our new Conservative Patriot live event on September 3rd and 4th, and get ready to help build a society free from all things woke. You're going to absolutely love it. All right, so word on the street is apparently Kamala is refusing to appear in public over this. When she was asked by White House staffers to give an address on Sunday, she reportedly shouted out, "You're not going to pin this shit on me." She wants nothing to do with this Kabul implosion because she's obviously seeing her opportunity here. This is her opportunity. Joe's going down, so now it's my moment to shine. So you ain't pinning this shit on me. Oh man, our vice president, ladies and gentlemen. And as for our Bumblin Biden, well, he reportedly went to bed early the other night. He was confused by all the conflicting intelligence reports. And by the way, things get even worse. You ready for this? You're going to love it. NBC News is reporting that the Republicans are officially poised to take control of Congress. According to poll tracker David Wasserman, based on all the factors, the Republicans are right now, as we speak, the early favorites for the House majority in 2022. And with Biden's poll numbers plummeting, the odds-on favorite status is only going to increase. So we'll certainly keep our eyes on how things develop here, but it does appear that along with the fall of Kabul, we're actually seeing the fall of Sleepy Joe himself. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Patriot protesters absolutely crushing Antifa soy boys in LA. It's going to absolutely make your day. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless. You're cracking me up.